Sabbath, peace.
Another opportunity for us to come together and hear and learn of the word of truth that's given to us by the Most High God. All honor goes to the Father through the Son, whose name is Yahushua. In him lies the only hope for salvation. We know that it is obtained by grace through faith, not of works, lest anyone should boast, and given freely as a gift to all who obey him. We understand that if you do not obey him, it is made manifest or made obvious that you do not believe. In this state, you should expect no good thing from the Most High. However, anything that you do get, whether it be a gift of tongues, a gift of prophecy, or any supernatural experience that you may have, it can and it will be used against you in the day of judgment. With that said, peace to the saints that are in the room, to the saints that couldn't make it, to the saints that's watching in on the camera, to the saints that's in the chat, the saints scattered around the world that we don't know about. But no peace to the wicked. The only thing we say to them is repent that they might live. What we talked about last week, we were talking about definitely talking about Yahushua, all right? We're definitely talking about Yahushua. We was talking about we were talking about Matthew 25, right? Remember Matthew 25, it started talking about the 10 virgins. Went over the 10 virgins a little bit, kind of as a reminder that you got to take care of yourself first, right? The first thing is you got to take care of you got to make sure your salvation with the Most High God is good first before you go out trying to serve and help everybody else. And then we went on and we talked about, appreciate you, boy. We went on and we talked a little bit about the goats and the sheep, right? Sheep is on the right hand. Put that down. The sheep is on the right hand. The goat's on the left hand, right? And the Most High God is going to separate all of us. And then we got to want to be sheep, right? Because if we not sheep, then, you know what I'm saying, we won't get into the kingdom, right? Let's jump into this week, right? Let's pick it up. Let's pick it up at Luke chapter 22.
What is that?
This is Luke chapter 22. Give me verse 1. Luke chapter 22, verse 1. A lot of mysteries in this book.
Yeah, Luke 22. You said Luke 22? Can you hear me?
Chapter 22, verse 1.
Can you hear me, though?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Now the feast of unleavened bread drew nigh, which is called the Passover. And the chief priests and scribes sought how they might kill him, for they feared the people. Then entered Satan into Judah, surnamed Iscariot, being one of the number of the 12. And he went his way and communed with the chief priests and captains how they might betray him unto them. And they were glad and covenanted to kill him, to give him money. And he promised and sought opportunity to betray him unto them in the absence of the multitude. Then came the day of unleavened bread, when the Passover must be killed. And he sent Peter and John, saying, Go and prepare us a Passover that we may eat. And they said,
right. So they had to prepare the Passover. The Passover coming. At this point, it's about 2 days away to Passover, right? So what they doing at this point, Yahushua was telling them, like, go ahead and set everything up. Go find a place. He about to give them instructions on how to find that place. But it passed over. You remember Judas? We talked about Judas before. He was looking for the come up. You remember he was over the money? And the book said that, you know what I'm saying, that man like a little bit of money. So he was looking for the come up. He was trying to set Yahushua up. So that was their way of doing it. Because remember, if you remember, maybe several weeks ago, we talked about how, you know what I'm saying, the leaders of Judah definitely had made the decision that they going to kill Yahushua, right? Remember, they had the logic of it's better for one man to die than for Rome to come out all this thing. And they try to kill everybody, right? Because Rome didn't play. Rome, if Rome saw you as rebellious, Rome is going to come and take over your whole city, right? They're going to make a mess of your whole city. And so they know that because that had already happened to us with the Greeks, right? And they looking like, well, Rome is worse than the Greeks are. You know what I'm saying? So we was looking at like, nah, man, it's better for one man to die than for Rome to look at him like, oh, everybody think he the king? Oh, he challenging Caesar? Oh, okay, well then boom, everybody got to go. So they thought they would kill him. So their mindset is, yes, we're sacrificing this dude. They just didn't know that they were sacrificing the Messiah, right? So the way that they were going to do that is they got to kill him. But the dilemma that they had is, if we kill him, everybody thinks he's a prophet. Everybody thinks he's the Messiah. So we can't kill him in front of the multitude, or else they gonna turn on us, right? So it's like, so we got to do it. We gotta capture him. You know what I'm saying? Away from the multitude, which is why they signed up Judas, right? So Judas used that as an opportunity to go ahead and get everything set up, to scam him. He gonna dime him out when nobody is around, and then there you go. You know what I'm saying? He gonna get taken. So we getting closer to that. Let's keep going.
And they said unto him, Where wilt thou that we prepare? And he said unto them, Behold, when ye are entered into the city, there shall a man meet you, bearing a pitcher of water. Follow him into the house where he enter in. And ye shall say unto the good man of the house, The master saith unto thee, Where is the guest chamber where I shall eat the Passover with my disciples? And he shall show you a large upper room furnished. There make ready.
Right, so he gave him the whole play. Like, man, going around the corner, it's gonna be a dude like second house down. It's gonna be a dude. Tell him this is what you need to say. He gonna be like, what? And be like, no, this is what we trying to do. After you do that, it's gonna be a large little room, going there, table in the middle. It's already gonna be set up. Don't even worry about it. He already knew exactly how to play it out. Now we don't know how. You know what I'm saying? We don't know if he knew this just because he's the son of the Most High God, or if he knew this because he already, scoped out this situation and had it planned. Regardless, he already knew, and he gave them the instructions exactly what to do. Let's see what happened.
And they went and found as he had said unto them, and they made ready the Passover. And when the
Right,
hour
book say it was just like he said it was going to be. Keep going.
And when the hour was come, he sat down, and the 12 apostles with him. And he said unto them, With desire I have desired to eat this Passover with you before I suffer. For I say unto you, I will not any more eat thereof until it be fulfilled in the kingdom of God. And he took the cup and gave thanks and said, Take this and divide it among yourselves. For I say unto you, I will not drink of the fruit of the vine until the kingdom of God shall come.
Right, so he said, take this, divide it up. You know what I'm saying? So you got, got some bread. He like, look, man, go ahead and take this, divide it amongst everybody. Here goes some wine. You know what I'm saying? Divide it amongst everybody, because I'm not gonna eat until, you know what I'm saying? Until what? Read it again.
I will not drink of the fruit of the vine until the kingdom of God shall come.
Right? He said, I can't partake until the kingdom of God comes. Right? What in the world is he talking about? Right? Keep going. Let's see.
And he took bread and gave thanks and brake it and gave unto them, saying, This is my body, which is given for you. This do in remembrance of me. Likewise also the cup after supper, saying, This cup is the New Testament in my blood, which is shed for you. But behold, the hand of him that betrayeth me is with me on the table. And truly the Son of Man goeth as it was determined. But what
Right?
that man
So here he's looking and he's trying to tell him, he's like, look, take the bread, take the drink, right? Take the wine, right? He said, but I can't drink of the fruit of the vine until the kingdom comes. Right? Let's try to figure out what he's talking about. Give me Exodus chapter 24. Yeah, see, a lot of people we've been taught Christianity, most Christians will teach us that we are currently in the New Testament. Some of them call themselves New Testament creatures. Right? They'll say we're under the New Testament, which is not true. Right? We still under the old covenant right now. We still under the law of Moses.
You said 24 what?
This is jump down to maybe verse 8.
And Moses took the blood and sprinkled it on the people and said, Behold, the blood of the covenant which Yahushua has made with you concerning all these words.
Right? When Yahushua handed out the bread represented his body. right? And when he handed out the wine, he handed out the bread, he said, divide this amongst you. And the wine represented his blood, right? So now Moses, he sprinkled the blood on the people, and what did he say?
And Moses took the blood and sprinkled it on the people and said, behold, the blood of the covenant which Yahuwah has made with you concerning all these words.
He said, this is the blood of the covenant that that Yahuwah made with you, right? Keep going.
Then went up Moses and Aaron, Nadab and Abihu, and 70 of the elders of Israel, and they saw the God of Israel. And there was under his feet, as it were, a paved work of sapphire stone, as it were the body of heaven in its clearness. And upon the nobles of the children of Israel, he laid not his hand. Also they saw God and did eat and drink.
They saw who?
They saw God and did eat.
So they saw God, and then after that they ate and they drank. So look at what happened with the covenant, right? After when it was time to make the covenant, the representative of Israel had to sit with God and eat, right? So this is what Yahushua is trying to explain. He's saying, listen, I can't eat right now because it's not time to seal the covenant. Y'all sit down, please. Because it's not time to seal the covenant, right? When it's time to seal a covenant, well, then we all got to eat. But until it's time to seal a covenant, he said, I can't eat. Y'all can eat, right? Y'all can do this, but I can't do it until it's time to seal the covenant. Because he's the Moses in this situation. Right? Grab Genesis. Give me Genesis 20. Is it 20? It ain't 20. I think it's give me 31 maybe. Yeah, because 30 is where we just read 30. What was that, last week? Last week we read 30. So it's not 30, it's 31. It's Genesis 31 towards the end, like maybe verse 44. Shh. Put that down. It's Genesis chapter 31, verse 44. Let's see what the book say.
Now, therefore, come thou, let us make a covenant, I and thou, and let it be for a witness between me and thee.
Right? So this is Laban and Jacob. He said, look, come now, let us make a covenant. Me and you. Right? Let you and I make a covenant. Give it here, Mayala. Let you and I make a covenant. Right? Let's talk about this. Let us make an agreement. That's what a covenant is, right? So when we talk about a new covenant, it's a new agreement. Right? We ain't got to get it, but Jeremiah chapter 31 tells us it's a new agreement, not according to the old agreement. Right? We're still under the old agreement that Moses set up for us. The one that's in Exodus chapter 24, where he sprinkled the blood on these people. We still under that one. Yahushua is going to bring a new agreement, but the new agreement hasn't been done yet. That's why Yahushua says, I can't eat until the kingdom comes. Right? The new agreement, we're going to sit down and eat when the kingdom comes. Right? When that thing come out of the sky and it just land, whole world going to be tore up. It's going to be a new heaven, new earth. That's when there's a new agreement. That's why he told us we don't have to get it, but that's why he told us in Matthew chapter 5, he said, not one jot or one tittle from this word is going to pass until heaven and earth pass. Right? Because once heaven and earth pass, it's like, okay, now we can make a new agreement. Let's see, keep going.
And Jacob took a stone and set it up for a pillar. And Jacob said unto his brethren, gather stones. And they took stones and made a heap, and they did eat there upon the heap. And Laban called it Jagar-Shadutha, but Jacob called it Galeed. And Laban said, this heap is a witness between me and you this day. Therefore was the name of it called Galeed. And Mizpah, for he said, the Lord watch between me and thee when we are absent from one another. If thou shalt afflict my daughters, or if thou shalt take other wives besides my daughters, no man is with us. See, God is witness betwixt me and thee. And Laban said to Jacob, behold, this heap, and behold, this pillar, which I have cast betwixt me and thee. This heap be witness, and this pillar be witness, that I will not pass over this heap to thee, and that you will not pass over this heap and this pillar unto me for harm. The God of Abraham, the God of Nahor, and the God of their father judge between us. And Jacob swore by the fear of his father Isaac. And then Jacob offered sacrifice upon the mount and called his
He
brethren
offered
to eat
what?
bread. Offered a sacrifice upon the mount.
So that's the blood.
And caused his brethren to eat bread. And they did eat bread and tarried all night in the mount.
So then they ate bread. Right? You got the pillar as a witness. They made their agreement. They said, okay, no, this is what we're gonna do. You not gonna cross over. I'm not going, okay, for sure. Agree, okay, agree. Then they did a sacrifice. That's the blood, right? And then they ate bread. It's always sealed with a meal, a proper covenant. Right? So that's what Yahushua. Let's jump back. This is Luke. Where we is at?
Luke 22:22.
It's Luke chapter 22, verse 22.
And truly, the Son of Man goeth as it was determined, but woe unto that man by whom he is betrayed.
Mm-hmm.
They began to inquire among themselves which of them it was that should do this thing.
Right? So he's talking about Judas, because Yahushua already know Judas is about to dime him out. Right? So Judas already made the deal. He said, listen, I'm going to get him for you. Right? If you give me this much money, I'm going to get him for you. And then I'm going to let you know, just follow me around. I'm going to catch him, I promise. And I'm going to let you know when it's him, when nobody else is around. Because remember, we don't have Instagram, right? We don't have a bunch of pictures that's all around. Don't nobody got photos. So nobody knows how, if you haven't met Yahushua for yourself, you don't know what he looks like. Right? And even if you did meet him, you might only met him one time, right? So you might not be comfortable because you might feel like, I might confuse him with somebody else. Right? So what Judas' job was to point him out. Like, no, this is him. You know what I'm saying? This is him. But do it when nobody else is around. Right? When nobody else is around, catch him. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, don't worry about it. I'm going to let y'all know where we going to be. He already told me where we going to be. So then he going to come back and everybody going to gaffle him up. We'll read about it. But that's what Yahushua is talking about. Right? Let's see how the writer, how John described it in the book of John. This is the Gospel of John, chapter 13. Watch how he talk about it. We can start at verse 1, but I think what I wanted a little later. But let's start at verse 1, because that's good too. This is John chapter 13, verse 1.
Now before the feast of the Passover, when Yahushua knew that his hour was come, that he should depart out of this world unto the Father, having loved his own which were in the world, he loved them unto the end. And supper being ended, the devil having now put into the heart of Judas Iscariot, Simon's son, to betray him. Yahushua, knowing that the Father had given all things into his hands, and that he would come from God, and went to God, he riseth from supper, and laid aside his garments, and took a towel, and girded himself.
Right? So after he ate, he laid aside his towel. So he already knew Judas was going to do what he going to do. After he ate, he laid aside, you know what I'm saying, everything. He looked, let's get to work. Let's see what he about to do.
After that, he poured water into a basin, and began to wash his disciples' feet, and to wipe them with the towel therewith he was girded. Then cometh he to Simon Peter, and Peter said unto him, Lord, dost thou wash my feet? And Yahushua
Right? So he went to go wash their feet. Then he got to Peter, and Peter looking like, whoa, wait a minute, Master, you think you going to wash my feet? He asked him, like, what are you, crazy? You think you going to wash my feet? Watch what Yahushua say.
And Yahushua answered and said unto him, What I do thou knowest not now, but thou shalt know hereafter.
Right? He said, look, you don't understand what I'm doing right now. I know, because you got to understand. Peter was looking at him like, what are you? Like, you are the Son of God. You are going to be the king of all of Israel. You about to have the most power of any ruler in all the world. Do you think I'm about to let you wash my feet? I got way too much respect for you than that. That's kind of how you looking at him like, what? No, I'll wash your feet is kind of how you looking at it. You think you going to wash my feet? Mm-mm. Right? So now Yahushua, he trying to do it. He looking like, look, you don't understand what I'm doing now, but you will later. Right? Watch what Peter say after that.
And Peter said unto him, Thou shalt never wash my feet. And Yahushua answered him, If I wash thee not, thou hast no part with me.
Right? He said, listen, I ain't never gonna let you wash my feet. I refuse. Remember, Peter think he doing it out of respect, just like any of us would do. Right? If your favorite, I don't know, celebrity maybe, you know what I'm saying, as we all worship now. If your favorite celebrity came to you and just looking like, man, you know what? Let me just wash your feet. As a man, you'd be like, no, man, no, you know what I'm saying? No, forget all that. You don't need to do that for me. Right? So this is kind of because he got so much respect for him. It's like, no, I want to serve you, Yahushua. I don't want you to serve me. Yahushua looking like, man, listen, let me tell you something. If I don't wash your feet, or he didn't say wash your feet. If you will not wash by me, then you have no part in me. Right? In other words, now he put him on the spot. He gave him an ultimatum. You either going to let me do this or you done. We done. You know what I'm saying? Like, you ain't got no part in me. You can go on somewhere if you ain't going to let me do this. So after that, watch what Peter said.
He said, If I wash thee not, thou hast no part with me. And Simon Peter said unto him, Lord, not my feet only, but also my hands and my head.
Right? He's looking like, oh, well, if this is a requirement, I didn't know what I thought you were just, you know what I'm saying? If this is a requirement, well, then don't just stop at the feet now. Get the ankle, the leg, you know what I'm saying? All the way up to the head now, you know what I'm saying? Let's watch the whole body. If that's the case, if it's a requirement, you can do whatever you need to do, is what he's saying. Because he's saying, I trust you. I didn't know this was required. Right? Let's see what happened here.
Simon, And Yahushua said unto him, He that is washed needed not save to wash his feet, but is clean every whit. And ye are clean, but not all.
Right? And so that's what he's telling them is, when I wash you, I don't need to wash all. When you wash, you good. When I wash you, you good. You know what I'm saying? So now, Peter don't necessarily understand what he's doing. But he's doing two things. One, he's about to explain right now. But it's another thing that he's doing. He's fulfilling prophecy. Right? Because we got a law. Give me Deuteronomy. I think it's Deuteronomy 30 or Deuteronomy 25. Deuteronomy chapter 25. We have a law, a very specific law. Right? So Sharon said, wipe me down. We got a very specific law. This is Deuteronomy chapter 25, verse 5. And this law has to do with redemption, right? It sets forth what needs to happen when somebody is close to kin to you and they're going to redeem you, right? This is Deuteronomy chapter 25, verse 5.
If brethren dwell together and one of them die and have no child, the wife of the dead shall not marry without unto a stranger.
Mm-hmm.
Her husband's brother shall go in unto her and take her to him to wife and perform the duty of a husband's brother unto her. And it shall be that the firstborn which she beareth shall succeed in the name of his brother which is dead, that his name be not put out of Israel. And if the man like not to take his brother's wife, then let his brother's wife go up to the gate unto the elders and say, My husband's brother refused to raise up unto his brother a name in Israel. He will not perform the duty of my husband's brother.
And what's going to happen?
Then the elders of the city shall call him and speak unto him. And if he
So
stand
the elders of the city, they going to call him and be like, hey, yo, hold on. You the next in kin, right? You don't want to continue your brother's legacy? Right? They got to talk him into it. Like, hold on. You don't want to continue your brother's legacy, so you just refuse to do this. All right. So what happened if he just maintained and he refused? Keep going.
Then the elders shall call him and speak unto him, and if he shall stand to it and say, I like not to take her, then shall his brother's wife come unto him in the presence of the elders and loose his shoe from off his foot.
And do what?
Loosed his shoe from off his foot.
So listen, if he maintained, he'd be like, no. I get it. I understand. I just don't want to do that. Right? I don't want to continue my brother's legacy with his wife. I'm out of it. I'm done. I don't want nothing to do it. Then our law say, then the brother's wife can come to him, take the shoe off his foot, right? What else?
Take the shoe from off his foot, spit in his face, and shall answer and say, so shall it be done unto that man that will not build up his brother's house. And his name shall be called in Israel the house of him that hath his shoe loosed.
The house of him that has what?
His shoe loosed.
Peter don't know what he's doing. Right? Sister Pam says, this the Ruth story? That's right. Grab Ruth chapter 4. This is Ruth chapter 4, verse 1. That's exactly what this is. Because this is what Sister Pam is talking about. This is an example of this happening, you know what I'm saying, in our history. That law we just read, we have an example of it actually happening, right? Or not somebody's shoe being taken off.
They took the shoe.
I mean, not Boaz. So Boaz is what we read about. Boaz ends up doing it. You know what I'm saying? His shoe didn't get taken off. You know what I'm saying? But he's the one who was ended up being a redeemer.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So he represented Yahushua in that situation. Right? Watch this. This is Ruth chapter 4, verse 1. This is the book of Ruth, chapter 4, verse 1.
Then when
What does the
Boaz
book
up to
say?
the gate and sat him down there, and behold, the kinsman of whom Boaz spake came by, unto whom he said, ho, such a one, turn aside, sit down here. And he turned aside and sat down. And he took 10 men of the elders of the city and said, sit ye down here. And they sat down. And he said unto the kinsman, Naomi, that is come again out of the country of Moab, sells a parcel of land, which was our brother Elimelech's. And I thought to advertise thee, saying, buy it before the inhabitants and before the elders of my people. If thou wilt redeem it, redeem it. But if thou wilt not redeem it, then tell me that I may know, for there is none to redeem it besides thee, and I am after thee. And he said, I will redeem it. Then Boaz said, what day thou buyest the field of the hand of Naomi, thou must buy it also of Ruth, the Moabitess, the wife of the dead, to raise up the name of the dead upon his inheritance. And the kinsman said, I cannot redeem it for myself, lest I mar mine own inheritance. Redeem thou my right to thyself, for I cannot redeem it.
Right? So now he said, listen, if it's just buying a field, I'll redeem it. However, if it means that I got to go into my brother's wife, no. He's like, I'm not a minute. I'll mess around and mess up my own inheritance if I do that. He's like, no, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to leave it alone. You can take it. So now watch what Boaz do.
And the kinsman said, now this was the manner in former time in Israel concerning redeeming and concerning changing for to confirm all things. A man plucked off his shoe and gave it to his neighbor. And this was a testimony in Israel. Therefore, the kinsman said unto Boaz, buy it for thee. So he drew off his shoe. And Boaz said unto the elders and unto all the people, ye are witnesses this day that I have bought all that was Elimelech's, and all that was Chilion's and Mahlon's of the land of Naomi, at the hand of Naomi. Moreover, Ruth the Moabitess, the wife of Mahlon, have I purchased to be my wife, to raise up the name of the dead upon his inheritance, that the name of the dead be not cut off from among his brethren. And from the gate of his place ye are witnesses this day. And all the people that were in the gate and the elders said, we are witnesses. Yahuwah
right?
the woman.
So now all the elders, they witnessed it according to our law. And the man had to take off his shoe. So the taking off of the shoe signifies that you are not the redeemer, right? It signifies that you're choosing not to redeem, right? That's very important. Now, Peter didn't understand it. Peter looking at it like, you know what I'm saying? Like, hold on. You know what I'm saying? Don't wash my feet. You know what I'm saying? But in reality, his shoe had to come off. And Yahushua had to do it in front of everybody that could witness. In fact, all the apostles had to have their shoe taken off. Because it had to be shown as a testimony. Y'all are not the redeemers. There's only one redeemer. Right? It's the same way. Go grab Exodus chapter 3. This is Exodus chapter 3. Give me verse 1. We just read this last week too. But it's something that we didn't notice. Watch this. This is Exodus chapter 3. Give me verse 1. Whole book testified of man.
Now Moses kept the flock to Jethro, his father-in-law, the priest of Midian, and he led the flock to the backside of the desert and came to the mountain of God, even to Horeb. The angel of Yahuwah appeared unto him in the flame of fire out of the midst of a bush. And he looked, and behold, the bush burned with fire, and the bush was not consumed. And Moses said, I will now turn aside and see this great sight, why the bush is not burnt.
Y'all remember when we read this last week? Watch this. Keep going. Watch this. He said, I want to see how in the world this bush on fire, but it's not actually burnt. Right? Keep going. Watch this.
And when Yahuwah saw that he turned aside to see, God called unto him out of the midst of the bush and said, Moses, Moses. And he said, Here am I. And he said, Draw not nigh hither, put off thy shoes from off thy feet.
He said, do what now?
Draw not thy hither, put off thy shoes from off thy feet. For the place.
Why would he tell Moses he got to take off his shoes? No, because Moses ain't the redeemer. He had to tell him, like, listen, go ahead and take them shoes off. I don't want nobody to mess around and confuse you as a listen, Most High God told Moses, you will be like a god to Pharaoh. He told Moses that you will be like God and Aaron will be like your prophet. The Most High God exalted Moses so high over the people that, I don't know, somebody might look at Moses and be like, nah, he's our redeemer. Most High God was like, nah, take them shoes off real quick. We ain't got time for nobody believing that you're the redeemer. Right? And he's not the only one. Right? Let's look at Yahushua, son of Nun. This is Joshua chapter 5. Just Joshua chapter 5, just for time's sake, jump on down to like verse 13. This is Joshua chapter 5, verse 13. Right? It's important to understand that according to our law, right, if you are not going to redeem, your shoe has to come off. So anybody who looks like they might be the redeemer, Yahushua gonna make sure that you take your shoe off. Right? It's the only way to do it. This is Joshua chapter 5. Give me verse 13.
And it came to pass when Yahushua was by Jericho that he lifted up his eyes and looked, and behold, there stood a man over against him with his sword drawn in his hand.
Man
Yahushua
stood against him, in other words, stood on the other side, and he had a sword drawn in his hand. You know what I'm saying? Man was a warrior. He looked at him. Then what happened?
And Yahushua went unto him and said unto him, Art thou for us or our adversaries? And he said, Nay, but as the captain of the host of Yahuwah am I now come.
Right? So this is Yahushua, son of Nun. Right? This is the man who came right after Moses. This is not Yahushua, the son of God. Right? So this is Yahushua, the son of Nun, or Joshua, son of Nun, right? He come in, he see this man standing on the other side. He got his sword drawn. You remember, Joshua is the one, Moses died. The Most High God said, pick Joshua to take y'all over. Right? Joshua stood up and he's like, okay, let's go. So when Joshua go over into the promised land, he's going for war. He's not going over there to play patty cake with nobody. He's going to knock some folks over. It's time to judge the Canaanites. That's what he over there on, right? So when he get over there, he have a couple battles, and all of a sudden he look in the field and he looking like, there's somebody over there. You see that? There's somebody over there with his sword drawn. So Joshua, he with the business. He walk over to him. He's like, yo. You know what I'm saying? You with us or you against us? Because Joshua already know. Look, Joshua at this point, he feel like, man, I won a couple battles. Most High God on my side. Who gonna be against me? So he walk over to the man like, yo, you good? Hey, I see you over there with your sword out. I'm saying, you know what I'm saying? You on my side or what? What's going on? You good? Right? And then the dude, he respond, watch this.
And he said, Nay, but as the captain of the host of Yahuwah am I now come. And Joshua fell on his face to the earth and did worship and said unto him, What saith my Lord unto his servant?
Right? So look, the dude, he's sitting there with the sword out. He's like, nah, I'm the captain of Yahuwah's host. In other words, Yahuwah got an army of spirits, and I'm the captain of them. After Joshua heard that, he is like, oh, my bad. You know what I'm saying? My bad. He got down, bowed down to him. He is like, just tell me what we need to do. You clearly got a message for me. Tell me what we need to do. Whatever you say, I'll do it. What you think the captain of the host gonna say?
And the captain of Yahuwah's host said unto Joshua, Loose thy shoe from off thy foot, for the place where
get your darn shoe off. Your name is Yahushua, the same that the Messiah gonna be. And you came after Moses in Moses' place. Somebody will mess around and think you the Redeemer. Now we got two Yahushuas. One of them got to take his shoe off. Right? This is our law. Even John, look, you remember John the Baptist was walking around? And you remember John the Baptist was saying, look, they prefer him, right? He has to be preferred above me, is what John the Baptist was saying. Because remember, what did they think about John the Baptist? They thought he was the Messiah. Remember, John the Baptist had to tell him, like, no, that's not me. I'm not the Messiah. The Messiah is the one who the Spirit come down looking like a dove and it rests on him. That's the Messiah. John the Baptist kept trying to tell him, I'm not the Messiah. So watch what John the Baptist say. Pay very close attention. This is John chapter 2, maybe 1. John chapter 1, give me verse 19. This is John chapter 1, verse 19. Watch what the book say.
And this is the record of John. When the Jews sent priests and Levites from Jerusalem to ask him, Who art thou? And he confessed and denied not, but confessed, I am not the Messiah.
He said, I am not the Messiah. He confessed, denied not. He ain't trying to play at these people. He looking like, no, don't put that evil on me. I am not the Messiah. What else he say?
And he confessed and denied not that I am not the Messiah. And they asked him, What then? Are you Elijah? And he said, I am not. Are you that prophet? And he answered, No. Then said they unto him, Who art thou? That we may give an answer to them that sent us.
Watch it. He said, look, watch who John the Baptist is.
He said, I am the voice of the one crying in the wilderness, make straight the way of Yahuwah, as said the prophet Isaiah. And they which were sent here were of the Pharisees. And they asked him and said unto him, Why baptizest thou then, if you be not the Messiah, or Elijah, neither that prophet? And John answered them, saying, I baptize with water, but there standeth one among you whom ye know not. He it is who comes after me and is preferred before me, whose shoe latchet I am not worthy to unloose.
Whose what?
Shoe latchet I am not worthy to unloose.
Why would he mention that? Why is John telling you, listen, I'm not the Messiah. I'm telling you I'm not the Messiah. I'm the one preparing the way, according to Isaiah, preparing the way for the Messiah. The Messiah is going to come. When the man come, listen, I'm not even worthy to take off his shoe. Why is he telling you about him not being worthy to take off his shoe? He's telling you, he's the Redeemer. I'm not the Redeemer. He got to keep his shoe on. He's the Redeemer. The one to keep his shoe on is the Redeemer. Right? So this is when we reading in John, we can go back to John 13. What we reading back here in John 13, this is what Yahushua is trying to explain, trying to show Peter. That's one of the things. Right? The book is testifying to him and saying he is the Redeemer. Anybody who look like they might be the Redeemer, they got to take that shoe off. Right? Because you remember Peter, right? Give me Matthew chapter 16. This is Matthew chapter 16, verse like 13. This is Matthew chapter 16, verse 13. Watch what the book say.
When Yahushua came into the coast of Caesarea Philippi, he asked his disciples, saying, "Whom do men say that I, the Son of Man, am?" and they said, "Some say that thou art John the Baptist, some Elijah, others Jeremiah, or one of the prophets." He said unto them, "But whom do you say that I am?" And Simon Peter answered and said, "You are the Messiah."
Who answered now?
Simon Peter.
Right? So Peter is the one who answered. Whose shoe was he had to take off so he could wash his feet? Peter's. Right? So Peter answered, and watch what Peter said.
Oh, but I lost my place. And he said, some say, he said, "But whom do you say that I am?" And Simon Peter answered and said, "Thou art the Messiah, the Son of the living God." And Yahushua answered and said unto him, "Blessed art thou, Simon Bar-Jonah, for flesh and blood has not revealed it unto thee, but my Father which is in heaven. And I say unto thee that thou art Peter, and upon this rock I will build my congregation."
He said, "Thou art Peter, and upon this rock," the name Peter means rock. Right? So he's saying, you are Peter, your name means rock, and upon that rock, I'm going to build my congregation. Right? So guess what that immediately does to Peter? That exalts him way up here. I'm building the whole congregation on top of you. You're going to be the leader of the congregation when I'm gone. So that's why he had to go to Peter and tell him, take that shoe off. I'll mess around and leave. Everybody be looking at you like, you know what I'm saying? Like you the man, like you the one who going to redeem them. No. Yahushua is the only redeemer. Right? This is John chapter 13. Where we leave off?
Let's see. We left off on 15. Wait, nope. Nope. Bad. Let me find it. Verse 10.
This is John chapter 13, verse 10. Watch him explain. Now he's gonna explain the other reason why he washing their feet.
And Yahushua said unto him, "He that is washed needeth not to save to wash his feet, but is clean every whit. And ye are clean, but not all. For he knew who should betray him. Therefore said he, Ye are not all clean." So after he washed their feet and had taken his garments and was sat down again, he said unto them, "Know ye what I have done to you? Ye call me master and Lord, and ye say, Well, for so I am. If I then, your Lord and master, have washed your feet, ye also ought to wash one another's feet. For I have given you an example that you should do as I have done to you. Verily, verily, I say unto you, the servant is not greater than his Lord, neither he that is sent greater than the one that sent him. If ye know these things, happy are ye if you do them. I speak not of you all. I know whom I have chosen, but that the scripture may be fulfilled, he that eateth bread with me has lifted up his heel against me. Now I tell you before it come, that when it shall come to pass, ye may believe that I am he. Verily, verily, I say unto you, he that receiveth
So
me."
look what he said. He said, "I tell you before it comes, so that when it comes to pass, you might believe that I am he." That's important. That's what all prophecy is for. Right? He's not telling. So the problem that we have with prophecy nowadays is that we see the prophecy so that we could try to prevent it. That's what our mindset go. If somebody tell you, if somebody came out right now and was like, look, the world is going to end in 17 days. What is everybody going to do when you tell them that? What are they going to spend their money on? bunkers, right? They're going to go try to buy a bunker. You know what they're going to get. We saw what happened with COVID. They're going to go run up the darn toilet paper immediately. You know what I'm saying? Go get a bunch of rolls of darn toilet paper. And now toilet paper going to cost $50 a gallon. I mean, a thing. What's it called? A pack. They're going to run the toilet paper price up. Right? Because their mindset is, how do I prevent it? Their mindset is not, oh, look at God. Right? He said it was going to happen this way, and it actually did. Their mindset is, how can I prevent it? How can I work against it? Right? And that's sometimes our mindset too when we get to talking about the end of the world, when we get talking about the end time prophecies and all that. Sometimes a lot of us lose, a lot of the Hebrew Israelites, a lot of the Christians, we lose sight of it being to the glory of the Most High God. Right? It's not about our glory that we predicting the future. No, we ain't predicting nothing. We believe what God told us. Right? That's not a prediction. You know what I'm saying? If we glory in anything, we just got to glory in that we understand the word, but not glory in the fact that we predicting it. Not glory in the fact that we know what's going to happen beforehand. We got glory, give him glory that he knows what's going to happen beforehand. Right? The whole purpose is that when it happens and we see it happen, that we can say, yeah, no, he's the one for sure. Most High God is the Most High God for sure. Right? That got to be our mindset. That got to be our ideology. Keep going. Watch this.
Verily I say unto you, if you know these things, happy are ye if you do them. I speak not of you all. I know who I have chosen, but the scripture may be fulfilled. He that eateth bread with me have lifted up his heel against me. Now I tell you before it come, that when it come to pass, ye may believe that I am he. Verily, verily, I say unto you, he that receiveth whomever I send receiveth me, and he that receiveth me receiveth him that sent me.
Mm-hmm.
When Yahushua had said thus, he was troubled in spirit and testified and said, Verily, verily, I say unto you that one of you shall betray me. Then the disciples looked one another, doubting of whom he spake.
Right? So they looking at, he said, one of y'all gonna betray me. Everybody started looking around like, he talking to you? He ain't talking about me. Who gonna betray him? Who he talking about? Right? So he just caused some confusion in the room. Everybody looking around like, somebody gonna betray him? Who you think it is? And so everybody giving each other the side eye at this point. Sister Pam, I see your question. I'm not sure that I understand it. If you don't mind, write the question out for me again. And I'll see if I understand it and I'll try to answer it for you. But yeah, they looking around, they looking like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what in the world is going on? Like, who you think it's him? I think it's gonna be him. If anybody, it's gonna be you. They probably arguing and all types of stuff. Let's see what happens. Keep going.
Now there was a leaning on Yahushua's bosom, one of his disciples whom Yahushua loved. Simon Peter therefore beckoned to him that he should ask who it should be of who he spake. And he then, lying on Yahushua's breast, said unto him, Lord, who is it? And Yahushua answered, He it is to whom I shall have a sop when I have dipped it. When he had dipped the sop, he gave it to Judah Iscariot, the son of Simon. And after the sop, Satan entered into him. Then said Yahushua unto him, That thou doest, do quickly. Now no man at the table knew for what intent he spake unto him. For some of them thought, because Judah had the bag, that Yahushua had said unto him, Buy those things that we have need of against the feast, or that he should go give something to the poor. He then, having received the sop, went immediately out, and it was night. Therefore, when he was gone out, Yahushua said, Now is the Son of Man glorified, and God is glorified in him. If God be glorified in him, God shall also glorify him in himself, and shall straightway glorify him. Little children, yet a little while I am with you. Ye shall seek me, and as I said unto the Jews, where I go, you cannot come. So now I say unto you, a new commandment I give unto you, that ye love
He
one
said,
another.
A new commandment I give unto you. Watch this.
That you love one another, as I have loved you, that ye also love one another. By this shall all men know that ye are my disciples, if you have love one to another.
Notice he says, By this all men shall know that ye are my disciples. Right? Not you are my Christians, not you are my Hebrew Israelites, not you are my Seventh-day Adventists. No, he's saying, no, people will know that you are my disciples by keeping my commandment. Right? So we need to identify ourselves the way Yahushua identified it. He identified us as disciples. Right? We shouldn't be calling ourselves by nothing else. Right? We can say saints. The book calls us saints. Right? But it don't call us Christians. It don't call us Hebrew Israelites. Right? It calls us, you won't see Hebrew Israelites one time in the book. You'll see Israelite, you'll see Hebrew. I know there are Hebrew Israelites. Right? Ain't no salvation in some of that other stuff that we call ourselves. Salvation come by being a disciple. Keep going.
Oh, my bad.
That was in?
No. Simon Peter said unto him, Lord, whitherest thou goest? Yahushua answered, Whither I go, thou cannot follow me now, but thou shalt follow me afterwards. And Peter said unto him, Lord, why can I not follow thee now? I will lay down my life for thy sake. And Yahushua answered him, Wilt thou lay down thy life for my sake? Verily, verily, I say unto thee, the clock shall not crow till thou hast denied me 3 times.
Right? So he told him, look, see, Peter, he always, what I'm saying? He's zealous, right? So Peter, he looking like, what? I want to go with you. Where you going? He looking like, look, where I'm going, you ain't going to be able to go. But when I get back, you'll be able to follow me. Right? And then now so after that, Peter looking like, what? I'm going to lay down my life for you. I won't let nothing happen to you. I'll lay down my life for you. And so Yahushua stop. He's like, oh, really? You know what I'm saying? You would lay down your life for me. That's what you saying? Okay, well, I'll tell you what. The crow ain't going to, you know what I'm saying? What did he say?
You said, the cock shall not crow till thou hast denied me thrice.
Right? He said, the cock shall not crow till you deny me 3 times. So in other words, he's telling them 3 times going to pass before you hear the bird crow. Right? The bird going to darn screech after you deny me 3 times. So Peter don't know what he's talking about, because in Peter's mind, it's like, there's no way I would do that. But sometimes that's the grace of the Most High God. Because sometimes in our minds, we really believe the stuff that come out of our mouth. We be sitting here talking about, oh, I love God, and you know what? I'll do anything for God. I tell you what, if God just give me this, I promise I'll never let him go. I'll never stop obeying him. I'll never, We make all these like confessions out of our mouth, and we believe them because in that moment, in our heart, we really believe it. But then guess what happens? That thing come up, and you don't even realize it. Like, dang. And that's what we're going to see with Peter. He going to deny him before he even realizes it. Just acting out of fear, right? And he going to deny it before he even realizes it. But the grace of the Most High God shows him that first. That way, now Peter has a chance to repent from it. Peter has a chance to actually uphold himself in a way that's honest. Instead of lying, instead of telling the people, you know what I'm saying, he gonna tell the people, like, man, I don't know nothing about no Yahushua, right? Which ends up being a lie. Keep going. That should be the end, right?
That was the end of the chapter.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll pick up next week on chapter 15. I mean, we on 13th chapter, chapter 14. We'll pick up next week and kind of get a further discussion. At this point, Yahushua is kind of having a long discussion with the people with the disciples before he's taken up. He knows his time is short now. So we're about to read, probably for the next couple of weeks, just a long discussion that he's having, kind of giving them all the information they need to know before he goes and before he gets up out of there. So this is kind of like the first part of it, maybe three more parts of it that we got to cover. Let me look at Sister Pam. Any other question? If you got a question, send it out there. Sister Pam said in Mark 6:9. Grab let me see it. Grab Mark 6:9. Let's see what it says. This is Mark chapter 6, verse 9. It said the shod, the sandal. And in Matthew 10:10, same instance. It said neither shoes. I was wondering about shod. Is that Yahushua saying don't wear shoes to his disciples? Let's read what it says. This is Mark chapter 6, verse 9. And after that, we're going to get Matthew chapter 10, verse 10.
But be shod with sandals and not put on 2 coats. And he said unto them, in what place you shall ever enter into a house, there shall abide till you depart from that place. He was just telling them,
Oh,
like,
no. It's the opposite. He's telling them to put on shoes.
yeah.
Yeah. So he's saying put on sandals when you go into, these other places, but don't try to over prepare is the whole point of what he is saying in those places. He's saying, like, don't try to over prepare. Don't try to, don't try to do too much. You know what I'm saying? I want you to go in just with what you have. So with your shoes on, with whatever clothes you have on your back, go ahead and go into these cities. But don't try to pack a whole bag and like, oh, I need to make sure I got everything I need before I go in there. Because he's saying, listen, I'm about to handle y'all differently from like normally, if you going out of town, you going to visit somebody's house, you gonna pack your bags, right? He's saying, I want y'all to do something different because I want you to trust me in a different way, right? He's saying, look, I want you to trust me. I'm going to take care of you. Whatever you go into that city with, I want you to go with the shoes that you got on your feet, the clothes you got on your back. And then the people, when you go there, are going to take care of you. And you know why? Because I'm going to make sure they do. So he was asking the disciples at that point to trust him in a different way. That answer? Pack light, exactly. That's what he's saying, pack light. Any other questions? All right, well, let's pray out.